How to stop using shifts to fund your dream lifestyle. Even though we as women physicians are high earners, we're also high spenders. It's really common to hear women physicians say things like, I want to go to Disney World. I want this designer purse. I want to fund this big family vacation and take my in-laws and rent out an Airbnb. And then immediately translate it into, okay, how many urgent care shifts is this? How many ER shifts is this? How many days I'm going to have to moonlight? How many weeks will I be making this up? And so we kind of hear people say, women physicians say, oh, Disney World, that's a week of shifts. Right. Well, I'm going to take this certain course. Okay, I'll pay it off in 18 months, one shift a month. And I get it. It's how medicine trained us to think. We work X hours, we get Y dollars. It's linear, it's predictable, it makes sense, it's what we've been taught. But there's a really big problem with this math. When you tie your lifestyle to the number of hours you work, you're essentially saying my life experience is only available to be in exchange for work, for time, for hours units. We're trading hours of our time to have a certain experience. Kind of reduces everything down to work. It gives us this core belief to have more, we have to work more. I want more money, I have to do more RVUs, more shifts, more titles, more yeses. What a terrible trap. It actually traps us into our job. It's saying my family memories funded by exhaustion. My kids' college and education opportunities, they have a price. The price is my shifts. And you might be thinking, of course, that's true. I want us to consider a whole separate strategy because it's really not freedom. You really go to med school to be tied to our job in this way. So, medicine teaches us to trade time for money. What we learn inside Next Level Freedom here on the Happy Medicine podcast is a totally different strategy for life, where the goal is not to work more to earn more. The goal is to create more money by working fewer hours. And we have a million different strategies to get you that result. And today I'm going to give you a very concrete new strategy, real life example we've never talked about before about how you can fund a premium lifestyle without picking up one extra shift. Why haven't I talked about this so far? I just learned about it, girl. As soon as I learned about it and vetted it and made sure it wasn't a scam or a fluke, and I'm like, no, 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 I'm sold. My husband's sold on it. I now want to tell you about this thing that I know works. So, how I funded a premium lifestyle without a single extra shift. Past few months, I've been moving to California, and in the middle of this move, which $3 million house. I mean, just like huge bills coming in. That's not to brag. It's like while figuring out how to sell this $1 million house, buy a $3 million house, pack up a 6,000 square foot house, reduce it to a three. Like a lot has been going on. Tons of huge bills have come in. In the middle of all this, you might think, oh, she's not going to do any traveling or buy any traveling. I got my daughter she's going to be spending this summer in Europe. Got those tickets paid for. I'm going to be joining her for three or 4 weeks in Europe. We're going to be traveling around. I paid for my first class ticket. I got my husband and I to a dream. We're both turning 50 soon, and our big anniversary is coming up. So we decided and we love our love language is travel. So we don't buy each other flowers. We buy each other first class tickets. So we finally are going to Japan for cherry blossom season. My husband and I are flying business class, layback seats. And if we do the cash value of all this, easily tens of thousands of dollars, easily $100,000, depending on how premium you want to go. What do we actually pay for all of that? Like $500, taxes, fees only. Are you kidding me? Yes. And this is the strategy I'm going to talk to you about is the strategy of travel points as a wealth building strategy, not as a travel hack, not as this thing to earn you pennies, not as this part-time job where you have to keep up with all this money and deadlines. No, 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 no. As a wealth building strategy is so you can cut back to part-time hours, keep your full-time doctor salary. Actually be paid more than your doctor salary because this money we're talking like saving hundreds of thousands of dollars. And in contrast, to be very clear, let me show you how it works because there was a time I didn't believe in points. And the time was October, 2000, like a few months ago, October. I flew to Germany first class. The seat cost $10,000. And I have done this many, many times, traveling first class internationally, $10,000. And I mean, If you think about number of shifts that costs, how many clients you have to sign, how many ER time do you go to the ER, the urgent care? That's a lot. And this time, now that same seat I can get for under 100. So saving $10,000 on a flight over a lifetime of travel is hundreds of thousands of dollars going into my family's pocket, my investment portfolio, or savings. That money doesn't disappear. It turns into 10 more premium trips. It funds remodel of the kitchen. It builds wealth. And all the money I don't have to spend on this premium travel or kitchen renovations or college or groceries, that's just money we get to keep without working more. It is wealth while working fewer hours. It is the way to go. I wish this was talked to us in med school. I wish we were told at the very beginning, being a doctor is expensive. It's not just collecting a huge check. It is expensive to be a doctor. There's a lot of things you have to buy. And if you own your own practice, now you have insurance and you have employees and you have like there's lots of bills that you're spending money on anyways. What I love about points is you take the money you're spending anyways and you put it into a strategy that has you earning points you cash in for premium travel. So we're not saying go spend lots of extra money. We're saying all that money you're spending right now, get paid to spend it. Turn it into travel points that will buy you first class tickets. Or if you hate first class, economy tickets, whatever you want. If you hate flying, really good Amtrak tickets. Or if you don't want to travel, you just want to stay in your city, Four Seasons stay or something like spa. Or keep the money for a nest egg. But it's just like it's finding tons of money by not adjusting your spending habits. You don't have to cut back. You don't have to cut back. I hate when people say stop buying Starbucks coffee. I actually don't buy Starbucks coffee. It was like, why should we have to? Why? Why do we have to? No, no cutting back, no restriction, no diets. Let's just enjoy this life we went to med school for. Let's enjoy the lifestyle we intended to have when we went to med school. Because somewhere along the line, this big, beautiful life we'd planned for ourselves back in our 20s, it became a little bit like a treadmill. I've got to do more shifts to pay for this thing. Got to do more shifts to pay for this thing. Points travels away to get off the treadmill, to stop bleeding money to airlines and hotels, to fund experiences, really, really meaningful ones, memories, treasures, things your kids, your parents will be thinking about for the rest of their lives without doing shift math. It's how you build wealth, not just by earning more, by spending less of what you already have strategically. So you have to work fewer hours. Okay, so I need to address my own objections because for many, many years I was like, oh, heck no, I'm not doing this. Let me take them head on because this is how I coached myself. I want to give you these coaching skills for yourself too. So my first thought, oh my gosh, credit cards are dangerous. My mama told me don't be getting those credit cards. They're dangerous. You're going to overspend. You're going to kill your credit. So here's something we just have to understand. Those of us born in the 70s, 80s, 90s, I was born in 1977. Our mothers were not allowed to get their own credit card until 1974. So we have so much sympathy for our moms who, up until 1974, had to bring their husband with them to sign for them. What? That's in the United States. That is crazy town. So because our moms like didn't have this experience with credit cards, they weren't allowed to have them. Of course, it makes sense that so many of them are like credit cards are dangerous. And then we inherited those stories because of course our moms are going to always share what they know to protect us, right? So we inherit these money beliefs that our credit cards are predatory and risky and dangerous. They made sense at the time, maybe because they didn't have experience, but there really is a different way of looking at this now. So here's how I look at it now. If you get a great credit card and you pay it off in full every month, and as a physician, you can, the credit card isn't an enemy, it's a tool. It's a strategic one that will help you build money without working. It's just like investing in the stock market. You put money there and it makes more money. An important side note, if you are in the habit of carrying a balance from month to month, you do not want to do the point strategy. You probably want to do a cashback card because premium cards, the ones that are going to earn you hundreds of thousands and millions of points to turn into travel, they carry a heavy, usually like 25% interest. Not a problem if you're paying off your card every month, but if you don't pay off your card every month, you're going to want to probably do cash back. And I'll talk a little bit at that end of the episode. Also, if you're not paying your cards off every month, hire a money coach because you really should. I mean, right? Like it'll just be so much less stressful for you. And then you won't be thinking you have to go to this job because of these bills. You'll be like, my bills are paid. I don't have to go to this job. Or go less. Right? Okay. So here's something that really, really surprised me, but this is my lived experience. I remember when I was in college, I was so proud I didn't have any credit cards. My mom had told me, don't you get credit cards. So I didn't. And I had no credit cards. My husband and I thought, oh my gosh, I must have pristine credit. So my husband and would go along, start applying for a house, and I realized, and he's got tons of credit cards. And like his credit score's gonna be terrible because he's got all these credit cards. What did I learn? His credit card was excellent. It was 800 plus because he had so many credit cards and he was in the habit of paying them off every full month. He had a pristine credit card score. And me, I had a terrible credit card score because I didn't have any credit cards. I wasn't showing them that I had a reserve of funds available to me. I wasn't showing them that I was responsible with the funds. They had no idea what I would do with money. So my credit card score was low. Now, many years later, I think in the last 2 years, I've probably opened 5 credit cards strategically, paid them all off every month. Just bought a house. My credit score is still over 800, which is excellent because having credit cards that you pay off regularly grows your credit score. Not having credit cards, carrying a balance now, that will hurt your credit score. Okay, something I thought my next objection was, oh my gosh, this is going to drive up my debt. And actually, it's the opposite. And here's what blows my mind about this strategy. You're not spending more money. You're not opening tons of cards to spend tons of money. It's just about strategically spending the money you're already spending in a strategic way. So it's not reckless. It's not like, well, whatever card I can find, I put it there. It's like it's just a very intentional adult strategic plan. And then you get money back for spending smartly. So, for example, you're already buying groceries. You're not going to stop buying food for your kids, right? You're already buying groceries. You're already paying for gas, for dining, for travel, for mortgage, business expenses. The money is leaving the account anyway. Either you're going to leave the account one way to outwards, or you could be spending the money strategically and having that money bring money back to you just because you used it. That's the whole strategy. Spend what you're already spending, just get points or cash back for it so you can work for your hours and fund this amazing lifestyle without looking at shifts. And I'll say, the other thing, it's really helped me save money is because where I used to, if you haven't listened to last week's podcast, definitely where I talked about money scary stories and how I got over it to find a 100K raise sitting in my bank account. Go listen to that. But as I started looking that my money could make money just by spending money strategically, I could be making money without working in a hospital. I started getting very interested in my credit cards. I started checking in them line by line. And I found so much money. I was like, wait a second. This $300 bill every month that got on subscription 6 years ago, I've never used it. Get it immediately off my account. I found all these places I was overspending because I wasn't incentivized to really follow my numbers carefully. But now that I'm earning points for them, I am like a hawk. Everything on that credit card better be worth it. Better be what I said I'm paying for, right? And if it's something I'm not using, I'm not paying for it anymore. I am saving so much money. I am spending so much less because now I have a strategy behind it. I did want to say a little bit about cashback versus points earning cards. There are two strategic ways to use credit cards. One, you get a percent cashback of what you used, and it's like just what it is. You get money back, a percent back. Or points earning is instead of them giving you cash back, they put it into points. You translate the points into premium travel by booking airline tickets, for example. So, what I would say with this is this is where you're going to want to do the math. Use whatever gives you the highest return. So, we actually use a mix of cards. So, at Target, we use our Target card that gives us 5% cash back because that's really good. There is not another card that would give you 5% back. So, at Target, we'll use their card. Now, for travel, we use Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is 3x points on travel. Nowhere else is going to give us actually 4x. I'm sorry, 4x on travel. Nowhere else is going to give us more than that. There's some exceptions here. I'm not going to go into co-branded cards. And I'm not going to go into the pace. It's giving you like a 14x on flights. I'm not going to go into that, but I'll give you the resources for it. For those of you who are like, I want more than 4x on travel, I'm going to give you that. The idea being this is where you'll go to buy, let's just for easy, $1,000. No, that's too hard for me, my math. Yes, no, I can do that. I can do that. $1,000 ticket, airplane ticket. If you buy with Chase Sapphire Reserve and use your credit card, you can get 4,000 points. You accumulate enough points, you can transfer them over into premium travel. And it's very easy to accumulate lots of points quickly, especially if you're a physician with high expenses. You put your expenses into points. Okay, so how do you keep track of what goes for what? For me, I just got one card at a time and got used to that card. I also, because I let my kids have credit access to these cards, so they're earning points for me too. I have a Word document that I share with them, and it tells them, use your Chase Sapphire Reserve when you're going to book travel and dining, right? So that some people will take their card and will write on them with Sharpie, this is for gas, this is for dining. So you'll figure out your way. It's not complicated. The question is, where am I going to save the most money? Do that. Okay, so the next objection that you're going to get is you're probably thinking, it sounds complicated. Okay, so it sounds complicated. I hate the math. I don't want to do it. I'm going to just ask my husband to do it. By the way, you can just ask your husband to do it. That's a legitimate strategy. You can say, husband, here are the resources. This is what I do. And that's sort of how I did it. I sold myself on it. And then I talked to my husband about it and he saw the math. He's like, wow, this is amazing. And so him and we're doing it at the same time. So we have two people who can look at it. But anyways, for those of you who are like, this is complicated, I hate math, I want you to know this. The shift math you're doing is actually harder because the shift math, this week at Disney cost me this many shifts. That's actually having you away from your family. This math you can do on the couch where you guys are watching Disney movie. How many shifts am I have to do? What's the take home pay? All of those kinds of questions that also have you in the hospital away from your babies. That math is way harder. That's way more complicated than in the comfort of your very nice home on your very nice couch with your phone saying, I want to put my travel on the Chase Sapphire Reserve so I can get 4x my points. That's much simpler. And I also say just don't do the math. Like I just outlined, write on the card, here's what I use, or have a Word document that says, if I'm going to book travel, I'm going to use the Chase Sapphire Reserve, for example. But I think also in this age 2026, let's and this I had to do this work too. Let's catch up with technology. I'm talking to myself in a beloved way. It's like, it can be simple today. We have so many resources. So I'm going to link them, look at the show notes, but one is travel freely dot. I think it's travel freely. Just search travel freely. So when you get a card, you entered in travel freely and it tracks it for you. I don't think you have to put any personal, like you don't have to share bank information, but it'll say this is the annual fee, here's how you spend it. Oh, here's a reminder, this bill is due soon. So it keeps you up to date and also gives you recommendations for bills or credit recommendations for cards if you're wanting to get a new card. And it's free. Where I got started is at pointme.com. So just search for it. It's because there's a couple of ways to find it, and I'm going to link all of them in the show notes. But it's founded by Dr. Devin Gimbel, a retired physician, former pathologist, who specifically helps high earners use points to save hundreds of thousands of dollars. And she talks about points being not a trivial thing, but a wealth strategy. And she has a free, if you go to her, if you search Point Me to First Class by Devin Gimbel or go to the show notes, she has a free, I think it's like a 5 email starter course, or you can get it all at once if you want to. And they're like little 10-minute pockets going through how to get started. It's so good. And then she also is associated with this point.me. It's a website where you can search for premium flights. You can, there's a free version, a low cost version. I went all the way because whatever I buy is going to be concierge. So the first time, and it's $200. That's what a concierge points person is. $200, who booked my flight and then also gave me a strategy for points. It's like, you should get this card. Here's how you should use it. And here's the flights to Japan, and walked me through it until it was fantastic. And it was only $200. And I definitely made that money back. All I'm trying to say is you don't have to be a points expert on your own. Don't think you have to go listen to 100 podcasts or read all these websites and Reddit. No, no, no. It can be very simple. Start with these resources here. And then wherever you find like a need, then I'm sure there's a digital tool for it. I mean, I have a bunch in the show notes. Just start with the fundamentals. Over time, if you decide, I really want to Of course, physicians are going to be, they're going to be very, there's going to be the gunners in the group, right? So we're going to find all the wormholes and all the different things. If that's you, points can be a beautiful place to go, but I am not that person. I'm the person who's like, let's keep it simple. I'm not interested in researching. I just want to save some money and work fewer hours. If that's you, join me. Just do the fundamentals. You can add on rules and exceptions as you go. Okay, for those of you who are saying, "Well, I don't like premium travel." I don't know who you are. All my friends loved being like, if you could fly first class or not." I don't know anyone who's like, "No, thank you." Actually I do know one person, but she's not a physician. But anyways, if you don't like premium travel, and some people might not, you may have, for example, like you may be a family of six. And for a family of six and your kids are all little and you want to travel together, like that might be a reason. And it's hard to find a ward space for that big of a family all at once on one flight if you want to stay together. I mean, it makes sense that you may want to fly economy, premium economy. And so I just want to say, premium travel or not, this strategy still helps you because it helps you save money. You're still you're getting credit for the money you're already spending, and it gives you more flexibility to book more trips or to have nicer trips or book nicer hotels. It's this freedom from paying full price, is what I like to say it. Freedom from calculating how many shifts you need to fund this dream lifestyle. Okay. Next thought I had was this sounds like pennies. I don't have to clip coupons. I don't want to do this points. This is what I thought I had until I added it up. Until I was like looking at multiple international trips to Europe first class for $10,000. I was like, wait a minute, there's got to be a better way. I want to go to Europe for free in a layback first class seat. I was like, it's like there must be a way. And man, I just kept, my husband's like, you're crazy. So I just kept looking, and then I found the point strategy. It's like, oh, sure enough, there's a way to do it. And we've done it multiple times now. So it's not pennies, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's being able to travel without taking shifts. It's a legacy. And if you teach your kids to do this, then they also like their whole world opens up. Their salary goes further. Your kids become citizens of the world, not just of your zip code. And you don't have to miss a single weekend to show them the world. Okay, so what hopefully now you're like, how do I get started? This sounds amazing. It's really simple. Simplest way I'd say is look at how you're already spending money. So look at your numbers. And if you have a trouble looking at it, go back to the last episode. I walk you through it. But just get a general idea. You don't have to go line by line, but in general, what are your top like 3 to 5 expenses? And by the way, there are websites. I think Point.me will tell you what is their preferred card for you. And what I'm saying is pretty much what they say. Like, what are your top expenses? Is it travel? Is it mortgage? Is it food? Is it dining? So you pick your top expenses and then it shoots out, okay, what is your best next card? So, for example, one of our top expenses of family four is groceries. The only card that will give you 4x on groceries is Amex Personal Gold. So simple, right? Okay, so now I have this card, Amex Personal Gold. Amex Personal Gold's 4x on groceries. It's going to accumulate millions of points really quickly. And then you'll transfer that into onto airlines to buy tickets. And how you do all that is beyond the scope of this podcast, but all the resources I have will walk you through it. So you want to think of I think of my credit cards as like a portfolio, like a team. Everyone has a specific job. MX Personal Gold is for my groceries. I love to put on Chase Sapphire Reserve my travel for 4x on airlines. And of course, you can stack points, stack cards, get lots of points, but that's out of the scope of this podcast. I'll just link them below. Something I did, and then how I got started is I kind of was like, oh, this makes sense. And one of the first things I did, I went to listen to Point Me to First Class, Devin Gimbel's podcast. I really was like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. Talked to my husband about it. He was like, yeah, I love it. And then I went and scheduled, I got the concierge, I went to points.me and scheduled a strategy session. So someone helped me book my flight to Japan. They walked me through it step by step by step. And they gave me a strategy of what card I should get and how I should use the card. So they just told me what to do, and it was amazing. Now I have become a bit of an expert, and I look back and the advice was fantastic. So I highly recommend that website. Point at me. I believe it is what it is. I believe it is what it is. Okay, so for those of you, you're going to decide credit cards are not an option. Either you've opened a bunch or you just don't want to open them, or for whatever reason, you still have options. So I'll give you an example, an online shopping portal like Rakuten. It's linked below. It lets you earn points as you're making purchases. They transfer over to Amex and they can transfer from Amex to your favorite airlines. And I mean, they have some really good deals. Like sometimes it's 10x, 20x, 100x. So if it's something that you'd ordinarily pay $5 for, if it's under 100x rate, you're going to get 500 points for it, if that math is right. I think so. So you don't have to open credit cards to earn points. Opening credit cards is a really great way to capitalize on those huge welcome bonuses. Like the Chase at the time of recording, Chase Sapphire Reserve has an unprecedented bonus that will for sure end soon, 150,000 points when you open a card and you follow their spending. I think it's you spend $6,000 in 3 months. I'm definitely going to spend $6,000. I would love to get 150,000 points to turn that into premium travel. All right, everything below is going to be linked. In closing, here's the bottom line. You do not have to find your dream lifestyle by working more hours. You do not have to cut back on travel because of money. You do not have to count shifts every time you want to do something really beautiful with your family. There's a totally another structure, and it starts with a mind shift from I earn more by working more to I create more by doing less. I make money by cutting back my hours. And points travel is just one example of this. It's one way to reclaim tens of thousands of dollars that would otherwise just go out into the ether. You can instead take the money you're already spending and turn it into memories, priceless experiences, wealth, flexibility, retire early, send your kids to their top choice college. We went to medical school to have a beautiful lifestyle, a beautiful life. Let's make sure you're actually doing it. You're actually living it, you're actually doing it. And if you want help to take this further, to be part-time hours at your full-time doctor's salary, I want to invite you to a brand new live training we're doing in July where we're going to cover, it's actually 3-day training, 1 hour a day. We're going to cover concepts you've never heard before. And if you don't want to wait to July, you're like, no, 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 I want to join right now. Go to the link in bio, book your free sales call, and you'll be in this week. Happy traveling, everybody. See you next time. Bye.